Hello, grade threes. Welcome to my downtown apartment. This is Miss Crystal here with your 3-digit subtraction math lesson. I hope you all had a wonderful Easter break. I spent mine getting nice and tan on a beach. Oh wait, that was a dream. Just kidding. I probably made a pillow fort and just hung out and read books, I think. This is future Miss Crystal talking. So I don't really know what I did. But anyway, I hope you guys had a good break. Welcome back. This lesson is going to look a little different. My face might be a little dark if I go back here, but if I come right back, it's kind of light again. I don't know. Either way, I hope you enjoy this lesson. If you have questions, like always, you can email Mrs. Dennis or I. We could do a Zoom meeting, we can chat. Either way, we'll figure it out. So today we are learning about 3-digit subtraction. This is my handy dandy portable whiteboard. It's a kind of bigger version of the little whiteboards you guys use in class. So today we're looking at 3-digit subtraction, and it's similar to 3-digit addition. We might have to do some regrouping to get the answer. This is nothing different from anything we've done with 2-digit addition, so nothing to worry about. We are going to start off by remembering that our numbers are in different clubs or columns. We have our ones column, we have our tens column, and we have our hundreds column right there. Now please remember that we are subtracting. Always look at the sign, because sometimes maybe your sheet might ask different questions. There might be an addition question in there, so you always want to make sure your sign is correct. When you look at your question, you should make sure that your bigger number is on the top, the smaller number is on the bottom, because if we had $475 in our bank accounts, you would not be able to buy something that was $788. So make sure that your bigger number is always on the top and you're taking away a smaller number. So as always, we're going to start in our ones column. We're going to look at the top number, which is an 8, and we are going to take away or subtract 5 from 8. So I like to put the big number in my head and count backwards. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So 8 take away 5 is 3. You're right. Nice. And then we have our tens column, and we're still making sure that everything looks right. We have our 8 on top, our 7 on the bottom. Well, 8 take away 7. You guys know that. 7 comes right before 8, so it is 1. Nice. All right, and then we go to our hundreds column. We have 7 on the top, 4 on the bottom. We're going to take 4 away from 7, 7 take away 4. There's another way you can do this. You can put 4 in your head and see how many it takes to get to 7. 4, 5, 6, 7, meaning 7 take away 7 take away 4 is 3. And our answer is 313. I'm going to look. I have 788 take away 455. Does this answer make sense? Yes, it does. Perfect. I didn't really give you guys time to write that one down, so I'll give you a little bit more time to write the next one down if you're following along on a piece of paper. So next we're going to try a little trickier one. We are going to go with 900, well, that's a weird 9, 34, and we're going to take away 628. Okay, I want you to write down those numbers if you're following with me. Got my blue marker. Okay, so once you have that written down, I want you to take a look at these numbers. First, make sure we are subtracting. So our bigger number has to be on the top. You're right. So we have 900 on the top, 600 on the bottom. That makes sense. I can take 600 away from 900, so we're good there. So we're going to start in our ones column. Again, you don't have to draw these lines. I'm drawing them for your benefit. If you need to see the different clubs or columns, that's up to you. If you don't feel you need the lines, don't draw them. Your choice. So let's look at our ones column here. We have 4 on the top and 8 on the bottom. Okay, I know that 4 is 4 away from 8 because 4 plus 4 is 8. So I know that that's the answer. Right? Wrong. No, no, I heard all of you yelling at the camera. You're right, we can't. If we have 4 cookies, if Kaylee baked me 4 peanut butter chocolate chip cookies, can I eat 8? No, that is a true story. She did bake me 4 cookies, and no, I could not eat 8. So if you have a smaller number on the top, You cannot ever take a bigger number from it because that will go into negatives, and I'm not teaching you negatives, not this year. I think it's grade 6 maybe. I don't know. Either way, if the bigger number is on the top, we cannot do it. Does that mean I'm going to switch my whole number around? No, we're just going to borrow. And we've done this before. We did it in 2-digit addition. It's no different. So if I'm looking at my 4, I know you can't take 8 away from 4. So I'm going to go over to my 3. I'm going to say, hey, 3, can I please take 1 from you? And 3 has to say yes because I said so. So we're going to cross out the 3 and it becomes a 2. But did we take away 1? No, because what club are we in? What column are we in? We're in the tens column. So did we take 1 away from the 3? No, we took 10 away from 30, meaning that this 10 attaches onto the 4 and makes it 14. So imagine we have your tens rods and you have 3 tens rods. We're taking away 1 tens rod, so we only have 2 left over, and we're taking that tens rod, we're breaking it up. That's weird. We're breaking it up and we're putting it with the 4 ones we have over here, meaning how many ones should you have? 14. Now I have 14 on the top. Can I take away 8? Totally. Now we're going to do 14 take away 8. I'm going to do my count up method. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I don't have enough hands. So the answer is 6. 14 take away 8 is 6. If you're using a number line to do this, 8 is 6 jumps away from 14. All right, now we're going to look at our tens column right here. I have a 2, and because remember we crossed off that 3, we already gave 10 away. So now we have 2 and 2 in our tens columns. Are we adding? Nope, we're taking away. So I have 2 cookies. I ate 2 cookies. How many cookies do I have left over? 0. None, because I ate them all. I have nothing left. But you always have to remember that 0 has to go there because it holds a place. The 0 is important. It belongs there. It has to hold the place of the tens column. Next, we're going to move on to our 9, and we're going to take away 6. 9 take away 6 is 3. You're right. 9 is 3 away from 6. So our answer is 306. Now, if you get here and you have a bigger number down here than up here, does that make sense? No, because I can't take a bigger number away from a smaller number and it shouldn't equal more. If I have $934 and I buy a Nintendo Switch and it is $628, should I have more money left over? No, I just spent all my money on my Nintendo Switch. I shouldn't have gotten more. If you get more from the cashier, run, because they made a mistake. Just kidding, we should always be honest. Okay. I think we should try one more with the borrowing. So let's write this number down on your paper. I always have trouble thinking of numbers. 713, and we are going to take away 525. You'll see that? All right, take a second to write that number down. I'm just going to switch out my markers. Ooh. Okay, so I'm going to divide up my columns with an accidental curvy line. I'm going to do my work in green. Okay, so I have 713 on the top, and I'm taking away 525. This one's going to be a little trickier, so make sure you're paying attention. So I'm going to go straight to my ones column. First, I'm going to make sure that I have a higher number on the top than on the bottom. Looks like I'm good. So we're going to look at our ones column. 3, take away 5. If I have 3 stamps, can I mail 5 letters? Nope, I don't have enough stamps. If you rush and you put a 2 there, it's wrong. That doesn't make sense. You cannot take 5 away from 3. So we're going to go over to our neighbor, which is a 1 in the tens column, and we're going to borrow from him. And now when we borrow from this 1, what does it become? If we have 1 tens rod in our tens column and you take it away, how many's left? You're right, 0. That was a strange way to write the 0, but going with it. So I have a 0 over here now, and I took that tens block and I broke it up and I put it into my ones column, making it 13. We added 10 to the 3, making it 13. Now I have 13 and I'm taking away 5. Does this make more sense? Yes. So let's count up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 take away 5 is 8. Good, good stuff. Okay, now I'm gonna go over to here. 0 take away 2, well that has to be 2. Did I do it right? No, I did not. If I have 0 up here, I cannot give 2 away. If you remember, we did something at the front of the class. Remember, I had a certain number of kids at the front, and then I asked them to give out more than the number of people that there were, and you guys were all confused and I tricked you. This is the same thing. It's like having nobody up at the front, nobody, and I ask them to give out 2 pencils. Can nobody give out 2 pencils? No, of course not. That would not make sense. So we're gonna go over to our neighbor again, and we're gonna ask 7 if we can borrow. 7 says yes, he becomes 6. And now did we take 1 away? No, because this is the hundreds column. We took 100 away. And we're breaking that 100 brick up and we're making it into 10 tens. 10 tens blocks. Now I have 10 tens blocks. 10 take away 2. You all know that is 8. Good job. Now I look at my hundreds column. I have a 6 and a 5. If I have 6 water balloons, can I give away 5 or can I break 5? Yeah. And then if I broke 5 water balloons, then I'd have 1 left over. And our answer is 188. Awesome work, everyone. Okay, now we're gonna move on to our math booklet. Now I know we're skipping pages. This time the pages are right after the mid-chapter review. Today we're gonna work on page 100. Oh, no, I lied, we skipped 1 page. So skip page 59 and you are gonna go straight to page 130. It says at the top, let's do this together. We're gonna work through a couple of these questions together and then I'm gonna let you guys go on your own. So give me a second while I set up the document camera. Whoa, I was so much faster this time. Okay. Now, this is going to be a challenge, so bear with me. Today I have a pink pen to do this in. So that's what I had at home. Okay, I'm gonna try to figure out how to make this less shaky for you. There we go. Okay, so we are looking at our page and you can see that our goal for this week is to subtract from 3-digit numbers using base 10 blocks and paper and pencil. Well, we're adapting this because you guys are at home and you do not have base 10 blocks. We're just gonna not do that. Come on, pink pen, there we go. We're gonna use a pencil and a paper, just the way we just practiced on the board. So let's look at A first. A says calculate. Look at A. We have 575 over our takeaway 38. Now remember, they use this nice grid for us so that we can line up our numbers super neatly. Let's take a look at our ones column. I've got a 5 and I've got an 8. Can we do that? Is our answer 3? No, the answer is not 3. It is not something we can do. If we have 5 cookies, you can't eat 8. So what do we need to do? We need to borrow. And I'm gonna actually write that right here. Put a little star beside it so that you guys can remember that you can borrow from a neighbor. So we're gonna go over to the 7. We're gonna say, hey 7, can we borrow from you? And they're gonna say, of course. And we're gonna change that 7 into a 6. But that 7 was never a 7, actually it was 70. We had 70 in the tens column, meaning we had 7 tens blocks. Then we took one tens block away, making it so there's only 6. We broke that tens block up and made it into 10 ones. We moved those 10 ones into the ones column, and we gave them to the 5, making it 15. So now we have 15, and we're taking away 8. So that's a big number, taking away a littler number. So try to do that in your head. I'll give you a second. If not, put 8 in your head and count up to 15. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 take away 8 is 7. Awesome. Then we're going to look at our tens column. Now I have a 6 here, and I have a 3 here. 6 take away 3. Oh, well, good job. It's 3. You're right, because 3 plus 3 is 6. Excellent. Now I've got my 5 over here. I'm taking away nothing. 5 take away nothing. Anyone? Anyone? Such an easy question. Are you sure? You're right, it's 5. I really hope you guys are laughing because it's pretty quiet in here. I'll never know if you laughed or not, actually, so whatever. Okay, let's look at B. So for B, we have 308, and we're taking away 275. And I'm gonna look, is my big number on top? Sure is. Smaller numbers on the bottom. Awesome. We're gonna start in our ones column. We have an 8. We're taking away 5. Can we do that? Yes, we can do that. 8 take away 5. 3. You're right. Awesome. That is a terrible 3. This is why we don't do math in marker or pen. All right, now I'm going to go over here. 0 take away 7. 7. Nope, you caught me. It's not 7 because if you have nothing, you can't take away 7. So we're going to go over to our hundreds. We're going to borrow 100. We're going to break our hundreds cube up. So that 3 is going to become a 2. We're going to break that hundreds block up into 10 tens. We're going to add those 10 tens to here. Now I have 10 take away 7. You guys can make 10. What's 7? How do we get from 7 to 10? You're right. Three jumps. Wow. It's hard to do this through a document camera. Or an iPad, I guess. So now we're going to look at our hundreds. I have 2 and I have 2. 2 take away 2. Nothing. Do I have to put 0 here? No, we don't. So our answer is 33. Good job, everybody. Okay, these next 2 questions are a little more tricky, but I'm going to do my best to explain them. If you don't understand, that's okay. This is the only question like this. It's just asking you to think a little deeper about the subtraction. So 2A says, use Josh's idea to figure out 700 take away 68. Well, who's Josh? He's right here. In case you didn't see him, he's over here with his little speech bubble. And he says 700 take away 68 has the same answer as 699 take away 67 because they're the same distance away on a number line. What? How? What does that mean? Okay, let's look at these numbers. Let's look at these numbers on top of each other. I'm going to write them down. You guys can write them down. 700 take away 68, and then I have 699 take away 67. Okay, what is the difference between these? Are these numbers the same distance from each other on the number line? And how do we know that? Because I am not asking you to create a number line that goes up to 700. That would be insane, and I don't think your parents would be super happy with me. And I don't want you to do that. So let's look at this. How far are 700 and 699 from each other? 1. You're right. And how far are 68 and 67 from each other? 1. You're right. Let's pretend. I'm going to make a big mess over here, but that's okay. Pretend we have our number line. And once again, apologize for how unstraight this is. Okay, let's pretend that 700 is right here. Oh, sorry, that would be silly. Nope. 68 is right here. And then let's say 700 is way over here. The ticks in between would have to be really, really, really small. Okay, so it is this distance apart. Okay, and now if we took our whole number line, took this line, and we moved it over one space in both on both numbers, like let's say 69 is here, or sorry, 67, sorry, let's say 67 is right here, got it from there. And then let's say 699, it's right there. All we did was remove the entire equation back one. 700 subtracted 1, 68 subtracted 1. So these are the same distance apart. I know that diagram is not very good. I apologize. You can draw your own if you want, if it makes more sense to you at home. But all we did was take 1 away from 700 and take 1 away from 68. And just because what we did on one side was the same as the other side, they are the same distance apart. But why would Josh want sorry, that was a bad pause. Why would Josh want to do this question instead of this question? Why do you think this question is easier to subtract than this question? I'm going to give you a second to think about that. Which question would you rather do and why? Think about it a little bit. Okay, well, let's look at these questions. If I were to try to do this one, would I be able to do 0 take away 8? No. Could I go over to my neighbor and borrow? No, because our neighbor has nothing. So this neighbor would then have to go to this neighbor and borrow, making this 600. That would give this guy 10. 10 tens to the tens, wow. But I still need some for this column, so I'm gonna borrow, make that a 9, and then this becomes a 10. Again, sorry for the pink marker mess, or 10. So now I can do the question. 10 take away 8, 2, 9 take away 6, 3, good. 6 take away nothing, 6. Okay, was that super easy to do? No, there were a lot of steps in there that I had to do. Now let's look here. Let's see if we get the same answer and if it takes the same amount of steps. So I have 9 on the top, 7 on the bottom. 9 take away 7, 2, good. Now I have 9 on the top, 6 on the bottom. 9 take away 6, 3, good. Now I have 6 take away nothing. Look at that. Are these answers the same? Yes, but look at all the crossing out and confusion I had to do on this one. And I didn't even have to do that once on this one. So the reason why Josh wanted to change the numbers was to make it so that his numbers didn't have to borrow. Did it change the answer? No. So now B says, write a different pair of numbers that you might subtract using Josh's ideas. Show how to subtract these numbers. So I'm going to give you 2 numbers. I'm going to give you 500, and I'm going to take away 35. Okay? Now use Josh's idea. Can you change these numbers to get the same answer with less steps? So we'll look back at what Josh did. Josh had 700 to take away 68. He knew that it was going to be a mess of steps. So he took 1 away from 700 and he took 1 away from 68 and he got the same answer, but he didn't have to do any borrowing. So I want you to do the same thing with 535. Can you change 500 to 499? And if you do that, what are you going to change 35 to? You got to think, did you add or subtract? And whatever you do the 500, you're going to do the 35, just like Josh. Josh took a 1 away from 700 to get 699, and then he took 1 away from 68 to get 67. He did the same thing to both numbers, and he got the same answer. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Me again. All right, my friends. Well, that is our whole lesson. I know those last 2 questions were a little confusing, but I promise those are the only 2 like that on these sheets. The rest are more straightforward and more like what we did at the beginning of this lesson. Please make sure that when you're doing the next 2 pages that you are listening to the podcast. I know I keep labeling them the wrong dates, so this time I'm going to write the page number, and the first podcast is going to be page 60 math podcast, and the second podcast will be page 131 math podcast. So check those out before you do the instructions. When I was looking at your answers for the mid-chapter review, I did notice that some of you were getting the wrong answers, and it wasn't because you didn't know how to do it. It was because you didn't listen to the podcast for my instructions. So let's make sure we're getting all the right answers because we know what we're doing instead of not reading the instructions. Remember my magical trick from the last video? Okay. I hope that made sense. If you guys need help, like I said, Mrs. Dennis and I are both available on Zoom during our office hours. Check those out every day. You can set up a private Zoom meeting with either of us at any time. We're literally just sitting by our computers waiting for you to talk to us. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I'll give you a nice view of my downtown home. That's where I live. Anyway, miss you guys. I hope this lesson went well. Enjoy your day. Bye.